About the sacking of Jose Mourinho and the appointment of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Manchester United manager until the end of the season. At 8 o'clock, it's a special hour of radio. It's the hour of radio a lot of people look forward to all year because a lot of people aren't au fait with podcasts and that kind of thing. They still like to go the traditional route and just listen to the radio and the goodness that comes with it. And they're going to get a full hour on of Golf Weekly.
Oh,
the review
Lord.
of the year. What a year in golf it was. What was your golfing highlight of the year on?
East Lake. Tiger Woods being followed by pretty much every human being that's ever lived.
Well, that was a special moment. That was one of the photos of the year.
It was also one of the moments that kind of made you feel nostalgic, made you feel hopeful as well at the same time, which is strange.
Were you happy for Tiger? Are you happy to see him successful again, considering you've read his book? Have you read his book?
I actually haven't read it.
Oh.
I need to read it. Of course, you recommended it on OTBAM this week that everybody should pick up a copy.
You should pick up a copy.
Which I plan on doing. It sounds sensational, and
like he's not a very nice man. With all you know about him, though,
it's happy to be happy, or it's possible to be happy for the situation without being happy for the man, right?
You're allowed to enjoy the theatre of it.
Exactly.
Without liking him.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your golfing highlight of the year, Richie?
God, it's too many.
Now, you see,
it's too many.
You're giving me the look of why are we talking about this nonsense. But for the last 3 hours, this whole place is on holiday mode right now. We're having the off-the-ball Christmas party this evening.
Speak for your Jesus self,
No,
mister.
I'm just saying. So about 3 hours ago, I said, lads, let's make this a great show. A great show to head into the Christmas period. Let's think of some really good, interesting talking points for the news round. We can get some interaction.
Did I miss
and
when you said this?
the two of you just whatever. No response. No response at all. Wow. So now what we're talking about are the golfing moments of the year, and I want to get the off-the-ball listeners' views.
Don't worry about it. I've just been putting together a whole week of Tom Dunn shows, but that's fine. That's grand.
What do you mean a whole week? Will you not be here doing them live every evening when people are texting in?
I'm not going to be here
shows?
during the day in the lead up to the show like I am now.
That's really broken my heart there. That's what I was planning on doing all next week.
Who wounded you today? What happened to you? Is it because I compared you to that darts player?
Yeah, that did offend me.
You do
just
look
because
like
he's
him.
chubby and has a beard. You know? I don't look at random bald men with a beard and go, there's Richie.
Basically me, Sadlier and Cunningham. We hang around together. In a gang.
Actually, you're sort of a hybrid of Sadler and Cunningham.
Haven't I just?
Oh my God, he does look like him.
That's not even him.
That's not him. That's Alan Norris. No, that's the wrong chubby guy.
That's just a random fat darts player.
That's Alan Norris, who accounted for Stevie Lennon today.
Dear God.
Yeah, unlucky, Nathan.
Do you know what I used to love? Now that you are filling in for Tom Dunn all the way through, you do have some good competition, I'd say, at this time of the year.
Thanks for the plug.
Fanning's Fab 50. Is
not
that
on
still
this.
going?
No, it's not.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Take that, Fanning.
Why?
McCormick's got a free run.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
He's got to be on one of their stations.
No. You'd think that.
Digital, something. What about doesn't he do a show at the mornings at the weekend?
He does, as far as I know.
Because I used to be the saddest
I was on that one.
13 or 14-year-old around. Whereas when all, like, the teenage disco in Ballyhonus, it was a Christmas, so you were definitely allowed out. I wouldn't go till very, very late because I'd sit in listening to the full Fanning's Fab 50.
That's even more pathetic than something I do.
And even still it'd be U2 and...
Oh, look, Creep is -- 1 for the 15th year.
Or Bullet with Butterfly Wings.
Yeah.
Every year.
I'm gutted I missed the last one.
Do you know what Fanning's Fab 50 is?
Yes, I do. What do you...
Don't.
Of course I do.
Your assertion that CDs were only a 2000s thing was both frightening and disgusting.
On my first iPod, I had Fanning's Fab 50 on. You can insert
what year was this?
Oh, it was a
my first iPod was last year.
2013.
No, it was like 2005. I was working at HMV when that came out. Yeah.
So 2005 or there.
So what was number 1 in Fanning's Fab 50?
I don't know. It was just the album loaded onto the iPod, so I didn't quite know what was number 1. Unless they put it in actual order.
Definitely for the years. So I probably listened religiously from, say, the age of 14 to 21 or 22. Wow. And it went in a cycle of Bullet with Butterfly Wings, Smells Like Teen Spirit.
To be a Stone Roses number in the top 10.
Definitely, every time. I Want to Be Adored to be in there.
And then Mick Christopher to complete the top 5.
No, I don't think Mick Christopher
wouldn't be in there, no. Dave had a certain type of listener that bloody loved U2, that bloody loved Nirvana.
There was 5 U2 songs in it every single time.
That liked
one would
Radiohead,
always be like 43rd.
Yeah, they liked Radiohead before they got weird. And then, there was air quotes there for the radio listeners.
So the only Radiohead that'd be in would be Creep and Street Spirit.
Street Spirit
and you might even get
faders,
high and dry
if you're lucky. Yeah.
So none of the good stuff.
What happened to you when you turned 22 then? Why did he stop listening? If it's that good.
He got a job in Today FM.
We started, making our own brilliant evening music shows.
Did he call the last one Fanning's Fab Final 50?
No, I don't think he knew that the last one was coming. You probably should talk about this on air.
It's radio, and you don't know that the final show is coming.
Oh, God, no.
No,
in some instances you do.
Don't get Richie started.
In some instances you do, and that doesn't work well.
Wow. I can't believe they got rid of it.
Yeah,
Are you sure about this?
I'm fairly sure.
I don't want to recommend that there are other shows. Like, he's probably doing it at 8 o'clock tonight.
Can I just say, 10 till midnight on News Talk is a damn good time for music. A damn good time.
Was it a damn good year for music, would you say?
Yeah, it absolutely was. Yeah.
What's your album of the year, Richie?
Mitski's Be the Cowboy.
It's a good album.
I've never heard of
Very
Mitski.
good album.
See, I'm so bloody old. It depresses me. My Spotify top 5 most listened to were all bands from 10 years ago plus.
Like, basically you are Fanning's Fab 50.
Exactly. Like, it's depressing.
You crystallised at the same time that
The
show
only
did.
new album that I listened to on a regular pattern was like Leon Bridges, which is the most middle-aged man.
No.
Middle class.
Middle class man.
I played Leon Bridges the other night. It's quite good.
It's got a very nice, easy, breezy Saturday morning vibe off him.
Fine. That's absolutely fine.
He does sound like he is 70.
Leon Bridges?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He sounds like he's about 28. Grand.
Well, you will agree to this.
What was your album of the year, on?
Daytona by Pusha T. Best album of the year. Produced by Kanye. Amazing stuff.
All right. I'll have to go and listen to this.
It'll be the youngest thing you ever listened to.
The official... No, this cannot be true. The official number 1 on Fanning's Fab 50 last year.
Go on.
It deserved to be cancelled for this.
Horse
The people
outside
should
by the
no
rubber
longer be given a vote.
I would have put that forward anyway, but go on.
The Killers' Mr. Brightside.
Here. Come on.
Although, if you ever want to see somewhere come alive of a night, stick that on.
Hold on.
People come in, like, I don't know if you've ever seen like one of those scenes in movies, like in 300, where they all come over the hill and it all looks like there's, descending upon a massive battle.
They're crawling out of their cage.
That's pretty much what it looks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm going.
Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
I'm not doing the rest of this show after that. That's disgraceful.
There was...
You're doing just fine.
I was listening to...
Shut up.
I was listening to Off the Ball on like the 30th of December 2009. And I can't remember who was presenting it, but they were like, now it's our last live show of the decade. Now to leave you with our song of the decade. It is The Killers' Mr. Brightside. So we can speak here, but we've got to live our lives with meaningful actions, and it is probably deleting that piece of audio.
Probably someone else, other than people who are in the studio, to blame.
Well, it could have been Gilroy.
Could well have
That
been.
sounds like a Gilroy move, actually.
Does.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
He should be embarrassed.
Joe
He should
wouldn't
be
have been into
ashamed.
the Killers. That'd even be too cool for him.
Joe doesn't know who the Killers are.
Oof. Wow. Just popped in there a second ago and everything. Wow.
To ask who
I
the
can't
Killers are.
believe that was number 1. What was number 2? Give me the top 3, JP. And also find out why it's not coming back. Like, we should get him on. Like, we could give him one of Richie's 2-hour slots one of the evenings.
I'd happily do that. Let me put my trotters
Like
up.
3 nights of it. It was genius. And back in the day, Owen, when there were tapes, I would record the full Fab 50.
Would you? And then how long would you keep
And
the
I'd
tape
write out the full 50 to 1 on the...
Speaking of like 3 days,
search.
there used to be like a Gaybo show, like one of the Gay Byrne shows of a weekday morning. I think over the Christmas, he used to just give like part of an hour, if not a whole hour, over to asking quiz questions. But there'd be like no like quiz people involved. It literally was just like, question number 322, and then you go on and ask the question. Like, what's
Was
the
he living in Africa at the time?
What's the capital of Papua New Guinea? Question number 333. Who played midfield alongside John Giles when Ireland beat Russia 3-1 at Dalymount Park in 1974?
And would he reveal the answer?
No, they basically would be printed in the RTE guide, as far as I know, and then there'd be an overall winner. But like, literally, it was just an hour of Gabo reading questions. That's radio for you kids.
That it
But
really
is that the equivalent? Was that the equivalent at the time of the Sunday Independence giant sports quiz? That it would keep you going for the entire sports crossword. It would keep you
Crossword.
going for the entire
They still have that.
Christmas.
Yeah.
They do.
You
Yeah.
get John Green on the phone.
The final word. That's this Sunday, I presume.
This Sunday, yeah. Yes. Keeps me going for the full Christmas.
Yeah. It's been getting more and more of an important part of my life.
All right, top 5 now. Listen,
no.
I love Dave Fanning, but it had to end. It sadly had to end. Number 5, The Strokes. Last night, Strokes had many fine songs. That was a staple of 2002 Cuba nightclub.
It's the worst song on that album.
No, it's not. I'm seeing a pattern. It's not. I'm seeing a pattern here whereby this is basically just going to be the last half hour of an indie night.
So number 4, literally one of Owen's favourite songs of all time.
Pusha T.
Arctic Monkeys, Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor.
Also,
Our
like,
team tune.
They're like, this is Whelan's, basically. Half 2, Whelan's Saturday night.
Now that I think about it, though, our theme tune is very much Arctic Monkeys, Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, and White Stripes, Seven Nation Army.
Which is number 3.
The year 2004 was a good year for Off
I
the
would
Ball.
put money on White Stripes. White Stripes, Seven Nation Army is number 6 on the list.
Of course it is.
Number 3,
Radiohead Creep.
Kings of Leon, Sex on Fire.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
That's an appalling song. Anybody who likes it needs to be sectioned.
Number 2, Richie is the ultimate music snob. See, and this is even shouldn't even really be on the list. Number 2, LCD Sound System, All My Friends.
Yes, that's a fantastic
It's
song.
a fantastic song, but it's
And
not
it
on the
deserves
list
to
for the
be
right
there.
reason. It's there because people are trying to be cool. So yeah, we like Strokes last night, but also yeah, we're still really cool though. We like
It's when Rob
like
names
LCD
his top
Sound
track, side 1, track 1s in High Fidelity, and he goes with the Massive Attack 1, and Jack Black goes, oh, kind of a new record.
Sticky and Drimna. Sorry lads, you're forgetting the Smiths. How soon is now? That was number 1 in Fanning's Fab 50 for at least 3 years in a row.
Well, glad to get along.
I did How Soon Is Now in karaoke once. It was not a good idea. Not a good karaoke song. Myself.
What's your best Morrissey? Go on.
I'm not going to do it now. So
Christmas.
A mate and I go into this karaoke club, and we're like, Workman's. So we're like
Workman's is a karaoke club.
yeah, every Sunday night.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, I did that once. Yeah, I did a Doors number a few years ago.
I did it once and once only.
The end.
No.
12 minutes later.
I did a rather merry version of Break On Through. Remember the crusty version from The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Very like that.
Did I mention that it's the Off the Ball Christmas party tonight?
You did
We
mention
should have
that.
had karaoke.
Kind of giving off that vibe with the last 10 minutes of radio, for being honest.
Well, there's literally, you said I asked what's happening in sport and you said nothing.
Do you want Munster and Ulster team news?
Lads, I hope Zinedine Kilban doesn't land in the studio later after having a few pints. If he does, can you get him to do a rap? Says the Walkinstown Beckenbauer.
I'll willingly take
Absolutely.
on anybody who wants to wander up after 10 from the Christmas party to just do a turn. Like it's a pre-Christmas Late Late Show.
Does that include non-off-the-ball Christmas parties that are undoubtedly occurring across Dublin City tonight?
Yes.
Anybody, any drunken person can just
I mean,
wander
best
up
of luck
to
getting
Newstalk.
by security, but, you know, by all means. give it a
Forget
go.
about Ian Lee on Talk Radio saving an overdose victim live on radio. Happened earlier today. These last 13 minutes of radio have been pure brilliance. Fanning lives, Dave and Bray.
I feel we should have talked faster.
Did Ian Lee save Dave Fanning? Because Dave was down because the Fanning's Fab 50 ain't happening anymore.
Did Lee give him a call? Offering it, you know, chicken and the...
Anyways, back to the important stuff, lads. Golf high point of the year was Mickelson blowing a hole in the myth that golfers are way too honest to cheat. Says Rob. Do you remember that?
Yeah, all golfers cheat.
Well, the high point
Everybody's
was Mickelson and Tiger lying on wads of cash. Piles of cash,
I did mention that in our
no
review
angels
of the
in
year. I
cash.
stayed up watching all 22 holes of that nonsense.
Did you watch that first? The whole
And
thing?
I woke up the next morning and I was assuming when I went online that there would be Phil Mickelson, what a guy, has donated the 9 million to worthwhile causes, and it's just sums Phil up. Nothing. Phil has literally not been seen or heard of since he pocketed that 9 million quid. He's in Vegas,
Or maybe he's doing
living it up.
Maybe he's doing the right thing and not telling everybody about his charitable donation. I'm going to give Phil the benefit of the doubt.
Have you seen JP for the last 2 days in charitable donations? Dear God. It's not really the done thing anymore. No. Golfing highlight of the year was the 11 sports coverage of the PGA Championship because it made me realise how much I've been taking Sky Sports coverage for granted.
The Ryder Cup in general was like the highlight of the year. Just
In golfing terms.
in golfing terms. Sorry, yeah, in golfing terms.
That's
Not
like
in
I
general.
carried away on.
Like, it's hard to look past that, really. In any Ryder Cup year, it is always one of the sporting events of the year. It's just, it makes perfect television. And for you guys, being there, it seemed to make perfect sense because they had the biggest grandstands of all time, the greatest atmosphere we've ever seen at a Ryder Cup. It just seemed to kind of spell this magical event, which a lot of people kind of, you know, look down upon.
The highlight for me, actually one of my highlights of the year, was the day before the Ryder Cup. So golf tournaments in general are great to cover from a working point of view because you get inside the rope. So you get to walk often along the fairway behind Tiger Woods. So the day before the Ryder Cup, the dream came true. Myself and Joe Malloy went out onto the course. We wandered behind inside the ropes. This was the practice pairing. Tiger Woods, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas and Patrick Reed.
Friends.
And we're there, sitting at the side of the green as Tiger is 5 yards away practicing his chipping. So we get the first hole. I'm like, this is going to be one of the greatest days of all time. Get to the second hole, Tiger standing there. There's this beautiful shot. Everybody else is left. And Tiger standing there alone on the green, sort of staring up into the distance, the crowd's behind. So all the photographers are sort of moving around to get this shot. Joe Malloy is standing there with his iPhone. Yeah, this is a good photo. Standing in the way of one of the photographers who goes, get out of the way. Joe takes offense to this. Goes, wait a second, pal. I'm taking a photo myself. 2 minutes later, security come over and go, sorry, you two guys shouldn't be in here. Can you please get out? And that's the end of our day, following around
no.
Tiger Woods, Jordan Spieth, Patrick Reed and Justin Thomas.
That is so heartbreaking. The only question I have is, what did Tiger Woods smell like? You got that close. It's the initial question I have.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Fair enough.
It's not something you think about.
Success, no.
It's like when you look at Rocky 3 in the start of it, you think that Rocky, like when he's really well put together and is rolling in money as he is at the start of that third movie, looks like he smells really well.
Can you bet, like, Malloy ruined our moment.
I shook Tiger's hand once, did I tell you that?
Did you?
Yeah. After the 2006 Ryder Cup down at K Club. Yeah. They're all...
What did he smell like, Richie?
Success, his own says.
Success.
Who gave ye clowns permission to talk music?
Me.
Stick to the sport, says Daz and Tip.
And
Daz,
what's your favourite song, Daz?
Yeah.
Text us your favourite. We'll do a Murphy's Fab 50 between now and 7:30.
Text us your favourite song. What is your favourite thing? 53106.
Do you do requests, Richie?
If they're any use.
You do them. I've heard you do them on the decks all the time. If you ever see Richie McCormick DJing in town, make sure you go up and ask for a song.
Yeah, do.
Where are you DJing this weekend?
Doyle's.
Saturday night?
Yeah. It's going to be mental. It's going to pop.
Sports news, please, Richie.
Jeez, is that time already? Tommy O'Donnell is set to make his return for Munster in tomorrow night's Pro 14 meeting with Ulster in Belfast. The back row has been named on the bench, having been out since October with a back injury. The starting 15 for Munster shows 13 changes from the side that lost to Castres last weekend in the Heineken Champions Cup, with only fullback Mike Haley and centre Sammy Arnold retained. Arnold's partnered in the centre by Jaco Tote, who will captain the side for the first time, and Albie Mathewson plays alongside JJ Hanrahan in the three quarters. And Mathewson has some lofty comparison to make about his latest teammates.
Without even having to come here, just watching them play, you see them just working hard, and that's all you can ask for from players. And it's a very professional group, and it's just good to see the guys like Peter, the way Peter goes about his business, and Earlsy and those sort of guys. They're real good leaders. They remind me a lot of guys I've played with back home in terms of their leadership and just their presence in the group. So there's a lot of similarities that I can see, and I'm really enjoying it.
Sticking with tomorrow night's game, there's a first start for Loch Ian Nagle in the Ulster side for that game at Kingspan Stadium. His introduction, one of three changes from the side that beat Scarlets in Europe last week. Rob Herring replaces Captain Rory Best at hooker, and he also takes the captaincy in the process, while Robert Balakoon will start on the wing. Arsenal say they're investigating an alleged anti-Semitic incident during last night's EFL Cup quarter-final with Tottenham. The club have said anyone identified will receive a lengthy ban and have their details passed on to the police, while earlier today Arsenal identified an image of the person who threw a bottle at Tottenham's Dele Alli during the same game. Meanwhile, both clubs have been fined after a scuffle between their players during their Premier League clash earlier this month. Arsenal have been fined £45,000 and Spurs £50,000. Both admitted a charge of failing to control their players in their fixture on December the 2nd.
So you'll hear John Giles' thoughts on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer taking over as Manchester United manager in about 10 minutes from now, but he's been taking training.
Yeah, he has.
Any vibes coming out?
For the first time so far. I don't know if he is effed with the wrong bowler in this instance, but it's believed United paid €2 million to loan him from Molde until the end of this season. If Solskjaer's time in charge was to be a success, it's understood it will cost United an additional €8 million in order to make the arrangement permanent. But Solskjaer is just going to enjoy his limited spell in charge.
It's 6 months, and I'm going to enjoy the ride. I'm back home, if you like, and it's about seeing the players, seeing the staff. It's about, of course, just being myself. I know that the club's now running a process to find the next manager, so I'm just going to be myself in the meantime, with Mick, of course, and Kieran and Michael and the rest of the staff. We'll just get the players enjoying football and looking forward to seeing the supporters again. Whatever's gone, whatever's happened has happened. Now it's just about from here. Everyone starts with a clean slate, and we want players to perform and give them the chance. You've got to start somewhere. Of course, you look at a couple of performances. I've seen the last few games, but you look at the merits. You look at the team. You pick a team now, and then you move on. They'll all get chances.
Pogba back.
Potentially. The thing that struck out to me from all of that actually is just Richie's line about the $8 million it's going to cost if they want to make him permanent. So if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to cost you $8 million, I know it's down to the contract and how much you get paid and the length of the contract, but really in terms of profile, how much is Maurizio Pochettino going to cost? Daniel Levy looks at that and is like, yeah, he's probably 8 times the manager in terms of profile. Another 5 million quid onto it, 70 million at the very minimum if you want Maurizio Pochettino.
It's quite clear that anybody who is in a job, the club that currently employ them, have United over a barrel in terms of what they're going to get out of them compensation-wise. Even today, Maurizio Pochettino was having his press conference before their weekend game, and their press officer was like completely shut down questioning over the United game.
You should watch the clip. It's quite hilarious because what Sky Sports have done is just zoomed in on Pochettino, so you don't even see the press officer. So the Sky Sports reporter is having this row for a good 5 minutes, trying to ask him a question about Manchester United in a variety of different ways, and you just hear the press officer saying, it's not happening, it's not happening. And then I'm not sure with Pochettino whether he's laughing or not, but he goes, well done, you're going to be the story tomorrow, congratulations. I'm not sure if he's saying it in a slightly, you've got what you wanted here. How dare you silence me? Yeah. I find that dynamic a bit weird. I understand the press officer has a job to do.
Yeah.
But does it not show Maurizio Pochettino to be quite weak in that position?
Weirdly enough, it happened a lot during Mourinho's term at United. Her name escapes me sadly, but their press officer was really keen to keep the press conferences between the ditches and would constantly guide where the questions were going, would pick out, obviously they do this everywhere, pick out who's asking the questions. But she was definitely very quick to shut down anything that was, I guess, going against what the Manchester United Corporation wanted to put out there.
How gravelly is Owen Sheehan's voice going to be tomorrow morning? I'm thinking of Kerry Tom Waits, just to keep the music references going from Ronan.
Well, I'll take Tom Waits any day
tomorrow morning.
You could be the guy who does the scores in the darts. That 145.
Yeah, Jesus, that guy's got really gravelly this year.
He's got a super.
He's had a tough 2018, hasn't he?
I don't know. I think he's coming out the best of it now in this World Championships.
Lads, thanks for the great show in 2018. Brilliant. Happy Christmas to the team on OTB.
You're saying this very sarcastically. Where's this going to go?
Damien in Cork. Well, JP has just pointed out, Damien seems to be specifying that there was one great show in 2018. So which show was it? Maybe it was this one. Maybe
what was your favourite show? 53106.
We want exact dates and times.
Yeah. We can find it on the logger and put it out again over the Christmas.
So Jeff Hendrick, having a difficult enough time of it at club level, but got himself a new deal.
He's going to stick around to Turf notionally anyway for another season. Burnley activating the option of a further year on the contract of the Republic of Ireland midfielder. It was due, his previous deal that was, to expire in the summer. Hendricks played 91 times for the Clarets since joining in the summer of 2016. Stephen Ward, meanwhile, is edging closer towards a return from injury for the club, while Robbie Brady is a doubt for Saturday's meeting with Arsenal at the Emirates. But Burnley boss Sean Dyche is reluctant to solve his injury crisis by dipping into the transfer market when it opens in a few days' time.
Yeah, I think the way the club's operated and the way it continues to operate, it's not throwing money at every situation. It's finding the right situations to work for now, of course. There needs to be a competitive element now, quite obviously as well at the moment, because we've got to get wins. But also the next layer of player, the next developable player, the next one that can grow with the club and be shifted on at some point. There's a lot of boxes need ticking to make sure that they're the right players for this club, and that makes it difficult. But that's the challenge that we've been doing for 6 or so years.
I can't believe you left out the best bit of Sean Dyche's press conference.
The magician.
They had a magician at his press conference. Why?
Because Christmas is a magical time.
Owen, who's going to be on OTB AM tomorrow morning?
Well, we've got Alan Quinlan, we've got Michael Verney, big BDO darts fan, and we've got Aaron and Stevie McKenna, the boxing sensations from County Monaghan. They're home for Christmas. I spoke to them this morning.
Well, we're all looking forward to that. Richie, what's on Tom Dunn tonight?
I can't remember.
Do it in your best Sean Dyche voice.
Lots and lots of great music. Going to be there until midnight tonight, just playing tunes.
You look like Sean Dyche's cousin.
On that note, we're done.
Off the ball on News Talk.
Ever wondered what life is really like in the New York Police Department? NYPD Behind the Scenes is a stunning new book by award-winning Irish photographer Mark Condren. Photographed over 2 years whilst embedded with the NYPD, it captures the humour, heartache and heroism in the day-to-day life of New York's finest. A limited edition of NYPD Behind the Scenes is now available. Secure your copy in time for Christmas at markkondren.com.
This winter, be ready. Visit winterready.ie. From flooding, storms, snow and freeze to fallen trees, winter is hard to predict. Find out how to protect yourself, your home, farm, business and the elderly on the Office of Emergency Planning website, winterready.ie, or follow us on Twitter at emergency.ie, an initiative of the Government of Ireland.
The all-new Dacia Duster is more rugged, robust and even better looking. And from 149